Hello guys, and welcome to another StarCraft PH replay cast. It's been a while, and I have missed this, so I can't wait to get back into StarCraft, get back into the games. And we'll get into the action right away as we do introduce our two players now. On the top right, we have PhyNix on that Cyan Terran. On the other hand, why can we see everyone? Oh, there you go. eXoSpecs on that red proto. So this one's sent in by eXoSpecs guys. And look at those probes. Absolutely beautiful. The old school probes from the virtual tickets. I don't know if it's because of me, because I have it, or it's because he has it. But that's really cool to see. StarCraft RAM probes, just pretty pointy. And I don't know, I like them. They are straight to the point in what they want to do. On the other hand, now we have PhyNix starting things off with the standard barracks, and it's been a while, guys. I know it's taken some time to get another replay going, and thank you guys for sending him a few replays. I have a handful for around a week or two to create some content with. But yeah, I was just too busy making the new pug system for Overrush PH. So if you are into Overwatch, you can check that out, of course, on my page. But we are here for some StarCraft right now. That's enough of that, and we have eXoSpecs here, just gonna decide to scout around. Looking right now, he does have a quick little patrol, and in the meantime, he is going to be building up that gateway. Interesting gateway position all the way in the backside, not protecting the ramp. This will allow the Terran to actually walk on in, but that's not such a big deal in a PvT. You do see the probe now just idling around, just running away for the time being. In terms of the minerals, however, let's see what these two guys have in store for us, as we do see the probe just still running around as much as possible. Why is the why is that not there? There you go. So I know I'm just trying out a new replay style. Just trying out this WCS 3.0 again. I've been understanding the hotkeys right there, but yeah, PhyNix just gonna be building up that second base. Also, eXoSpecs gonna try to tag along, running away with it. Gonna have that second base up as well. So now there is a pylon, there is a cyber core here for eXoSpecs. It does tell me he's gonna go for those early depths to try and go for the harassment, but the harassment is already coming his way with PhyNix sending in a Reaper. Good movement by the Reaper. Gonna go from the right hand side, jump up top, and here we go. The probes are gonna be in a spot of trouble. We do see the Adepto coming on out. There's the disruption with the cluster bomb, and here comes the Reaper, ready for the reapening, trying to get a takedown with the Adepto, very strong against light units, and if the shade does connect properly, oh, this bad micro for PhyNix gonna get taken down. Unfortunate to say there, PhyNix just putting the Reaper in such a bad spot. He is trying to catch up though, but when the Protoss is up in terms of bases, it's gonna be a tough time for you in any situation. It's really cool. Really cool emblems right there. This one has a guy's face. The other one has Psionic Aftermath. That's really cool. It's a cool slogan to see. But now the Adept just had a lot of fun there against the Reaper. Now gonna decide to go for the harassment. We have a bunker being built because PhyNix knows he is on the back foot when he lost that Reaper. Shade now coming on in, and can the Shade actually penetrate the base? The supply depot doesn't come up, and here we go. It might be a ghost off the Christmas pass. No, never mind. He's gonna go for the mule instead. And here comes the Marines. The supply depot finally gonna go up top. And this Adept knows this is gonna be her final stand. Here come the shots. Gonna fade on to the other side. The microplay is quite existent here from eXoSpecs. And the jukes to go. Gonna get on out. Gonna be tasty even without the sauce. And look where he's gonna bring that Shade. Just potentially forcing the Marines to back on out, and he's still gonna go for it, killing the mule. The OP mule is dead. Long live the OP mule. And another Shade play, but this time we have a siege tank, and this Adept running out of space to work with will fade away just in time and gets on out. Absolutely stellar play there from eXoSpecs. Only got a kill onto the mule, but damn, the micro was so good. Anyway, now we have a Stalker here, gas being built up, and we do see our Robo Facility and an Observer. So the Robo Observer there, allowing him to spot out anything potentially like a Banshee, triple pumping those Stalkers as well. So it's gonna be a pretty gas-intensive build here for the side of eXoSpecs. Both Slayers though, even in terms of gas, PhyNix a little ahead in terms of minerals thanks to the mules and thanks to having a surplus of SCVs in one of those bases. But now the Protoss gonna go for the third, and this ain't still pretty good here for eXoSpecs. He has a good attack force with those Stalkers. He did spot out the siege tank a while ago, so he might go for a little poke play. Now the bunker is unfilled, and this might be the spot that eXoSpecs is looking for. A few shots onto the Marines, but he can send back on out. Oh, you need to micro this, my friend. Gonna back on out now. No blink available, and here come the tanks and the troopers. They're just marching in formation. Look at the cluster. This is the most standard composition you can go with a Terran observer flying around. Gonna patrol on that, looking to see where the siege tank will be built. And now with Dotes, we have the Banshee as well as the Cloak. Good call here from eXoSpecs to get that observer ready. Trying to get in observation mode. One of the stalkers really low already. And we see two observers actually in position here. So eXoSpecs can plan accordingly. Just waiting to see these siege tanks on the siege. But he's taking a lot of chip damage. And there's one stalker gonna fall. That's gonna be an unfortunate situation there. A small mistake from eXoSpecs. Could have waited on when one of the siege tanks was trying to go for the other creep. Depending on the range, could have actually just hugged the circle along the way. Now shield battery being built, make that too. Very, very good for making your units very tanky. And here come the gateways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Artosis pylon again. And I guess I'm just a little outdated there, but we see so many people going for that Artosis pylon. Here comes the engagement, and eXoSpecs, what are you doing, my friend? Why are you going in? Just go for a few siege tank kills, and now the shield batteries are into play. So pretty even trade there for both players in terms of army supply right now. A little ahead in terms of PhyNix, but the observer, of course, ready in position. Now the Stalkers just needs to focus fire onto this Banshee because it does a lot of damage against these armor units. But the observer, of course, just keeping the vision going. Finally, there we go. There's the scan though to get the kill onto the obs, and the Marines are gonna be the target instead. Observer mode now off here, and the Stalkers trying to stutter step their way to victory. Gonna get the takedown onto the Banshee. Another even trade between these two players. Now we see the Immortal here for the side of eXoSpecs. On the other hand, we have the Marine focus build of the Combat Shield and the Stim Shot ready to go. Stim Pack rather. Supply depot. Oh, we actually see the rare side of getting extra supply with the depot. This is what happens when you are supply block and you feel like you need that emergency supply. You plop it down, just a little more food, the farm gets even bigger. But yeah, PhyNix right now has to play defensive because eXoSpecs has a really good warp cycle with its 3 bases, 7 warp gates, another scouting army with the Stalkers. This time, none of them fall, and Observer getting in position. So here on Blue Shift, this is going to be a slow but steady push here for PhyNix if he wants to get on out of his bases. He has to max out these two bases because here comes the Protoss just creeping on in. He even has control of the Selnaga Tower to see if there'll be any movement here on the top left side. Not so much on the bottom right. Let's see what eXoSpecs has seen. He's seen... Oh, he's seeing the whole base right now and he sees all this production going. He also notices a 3rd command center gonna be built up, so finally we see expansion here for the side of PhyNix. But eXoSpecs 1 step ahead, getting that blink already, has some sentries available as well. Very good with that Guardian Shield, especially against those Marines. And this composition here for eXoSpecs, very interesting. Gonna be the quadriplegic composition with the Stalkers and the Immortal. Sentries are there as well. Very, very much in terms of range damage, has a good mix of light and armored. But since I believe Stalkers and Immortals are both armored, might be a little weak to stuff like potentially Vikings. Maybe a little even. Siege tanks gonna be pretty strong as well if they get a good amount of hits. So I may be wrong about the match types, but I feel like that's the basic gist of the weakness here for eXoSpecs right now. On the other hand, PhyNix gonna go for the Marine, a few Marauders, some Siege Tanks, and the Medivacs, the most standard thing a Terran can do. Tried and tested, never fails. Medivacs, the new hotness ever since the Medic was out from Brood War. Medivacs, of course, just flying around, but you know, it's honestly very reminiscent if you get an old school Medic instead. Now there's a Zealot, the Lone Bob ready to go, Guardian Shield in full effect, and here comes the March. Now with the Guardian Shield there, that's gonna be a lot of damage from the infantry mitigated. The Siege Tank though doing a lot more splash, but they're all gonna fall one by one. And these Siege Tanks are quite expensive here for PhyNix. eXoSpecs winning that one in style. And why is the Immortal look like a... looks really weird, to be say the least. It has like these huge ass cannons. But anyway, a 3rd base are being built, and all of them are orbital commands, so there is no staging ground here for PhyNix. He has to defend these with the units that he has. Doesn't have a planetary fortress available. Looking at the production right now, we do see a number of +1s here for the Terran. Will it be enough? Protoss is following suit, but it's not going to be in the same time, rather, as PhyNix. So, a small advantage here for PhyNix right now. If he plays aggressively with those Terran units, with those infantry, it might be a good chance for him. There's gonna be another timing attack here potentially, as there you go. The +1s are ready, willing, and available. Charge here for eXoSpecs being researched up as well. And he's making a wall, a great wall of gateways apparently. She's gonna put it by the pylon. We still have the Zealot all the way in the back line. And looks like the base is double pumping these Forge upgrades. But this might be one big attack here from eXoSpecs. He's just starting to get in position to defend the intercept. Both players are actually creeping it the same way. So it'd be funny if one of them went for this base and the other one went for this base. They'll just be like across the pond. But I feel like the natural progression here might be to go to the bottom right. And there you go. eXoSpecs gonna get that fort. We still have PhyNix waiting on building the army supply as much as possible. Worker count in favor of Exo. But army supply now for PhyNix. He is a little overcompensating here because he knows this is his best chance while he still has the +1 spots out the Adept. The poor Adept finally falls after her watchful vigil on the Selnaga Tower. So the scans are coming in. Guardian Shield is popped. One of the Stalkers loses all the shields, and there's the takedown. Here comes the engagement. The grenades are just being tossed on out. And I like these Marauders here from PhyNix. Can be very potent against the Stalkers. Can be pretty pesky. I always feel like if you went for more Marauders, it'd be a lot better than going for the Marines. But just having a good mix, of course. Very, very interesting. Very, very intriguing composition here from PhyNix. Still standard is the way to go here for the Terran. And what is this? It's the robot getting in position. But in the meantime, here come the Stalkers. Gonna go for the blink, and the charge is gonna come on in. Now without all the infantry, the Medivacs is gonna fly on out. Completely useless. Here comes the funnel. And this is such a bad spot here for PhyNix. He's being chased down by the Blink Stalkers. And this might be one rebirth cycle that the PhyNix will not come out singed. So a soft retreat here for eXoSpecs. He knows he's won that fight. He can back on out and slowly turtle his way to victory, as is the Protoss way. But he's not going for the Golden Armada. He's going in for the Golden Ground units instead. Look at this. So many gateways, so little time. I might need to go to gateway later. But still, the Zealots are going to be able to march on in again. Apparently, this robot is still alive. Mr. 7A65726F70. Mr. Robot, you have been such a witness to the key battles here on Blue Shift. Luckily for you, you do stay alive as eXoSpecs now wanting to go for the killing blow. We see some Liberators built up here. Very interesting here for PhyNix. Just some last minute Liberators for the defense. But there are the pokes. And with his mutants, oh, the poor Zealot just gets blown up. One of them way too ambitious to give his life to Ire and just giving it up for no absolute reason. A few SCVs idling right now. And the good thing for PhyNix, he does have +2 in terms of the infantry and armor. But the bad news for him is, look at that. Army supply pretty much in favor of the Protoss. And when it's around even, the Protoss are very, very techy units, very, very strong. Good drop lane though coming on out. But this is one base that can afford to actually lose its probes. Unfortunately for the Sprue robots, they're gonna fall. And that's a huge hit on one of the Medivacs. Everyone dies into the abyss. And now he can just, what we can see from eXoSpecs, maybe just try to get a little more out of these gases, a little bit of Marines, just like around 6 for this base would be enough. But anyway, have another engagement here. The Liberator's not in position, completely useless when they're not sieged up, and the force field's in full effect, gonna get those takedowns. There's the blink forward now to get rid of the siege tank, and the air units are completely helpless right now into the coming fire. The sentry though gonna get turned around, and here come the Stalkers again. Interesting microfire coming on out from Specs, but the Zealots out in front leading the charge, being slowed down the Marauders. We do see the group up in and looking to get a takedown onto these poor SCVs. The workers not even working, thinking it's overtime, but they're gonna get slaughtered to the lamp instead. And things look good here for the side of eXoSpecs. This might be it, folks, as he is gonna march on in as soon as possible. Just trying to go look for the expansion bases. This is the first time I actually clicked the mouse through, and this is a lot smoother than just going to the edges. So from now on, there you go. Learn my lesson right here, guys. But the scan is there, and the Stalker's gonna decide to back on out. And here we go. Check these out. It's gonna be some Archons. Gonna be very, very pesky, especially against those Marines. Anyway, here we go into another fight. Scan is there, and the Guardian Shield is in full effect. Liberators are now in position again, and we do see both players right now just backing on out, just trying to stay a skip away from each other. But this might be the final fight here for PhyNix. He doesn't have too much army. eXoSpecs already maxed out. Here comes one of the Immortals, turns it around, and the Stalker's gonna go for the blink. But the high ground Anakin for PhyNix, making it count. Looks like Mustafar is still the staging ground here for the Scion Terran. But anyways, just following this Protoss army right now. They are trying to get in position as much as possible. On the other hand, we see some scans again. I feel like PhyNix a little too afraid of something like Dark Templar. He does spot out a few of the observers instead. And here come the +3 here for the side of the Terran. Anyway, it looks like the upgrades are still in favor of the Terran, but the army count is not. eXoSpecs has just decided to bulk up and go for the Archons out in front. The shields in full effect, and look at these Marines just get torn apart. So potent with the Stalkers, with the Archons. Everyone dies here for the side of PhyNix, and this might be game. eXoSpecs still has a lot of army to go for, a lot of units to actually work with, and this is gonna be the Protoss Armada just showing it how it's done here on the ground. Boots to the floor, and PhyNix calls for the GG. eXoSpecs will take that one. So such a good game there from both PhyNix, trying to go for the tug of war, trying to be like, I'm gonna be cheeky, trying to go for the engagements, but I feel like if he decided to go something like a drop play earlier, it would have been more potent and slowed down the approach from eXoSpecs. eXoSpecs on the other hand, deciding I want to go for the gateways, and I will make them as fast as possible. I will just go for these ground units, and I really loved the Adept Micro a while ago, and he has shown that he doesn't really throw out these units into the fire for no absolute reason. Oh, one or two instances there, but kudos to eXoSpecs for taking that one victory here for the Protoss, and it's always great to see a Protoss win. But yeah, guys, so I probably will do this every like 3 times. I'm not even say a schedule because I'm not sure, but expect like 3 replays from me this week, and hopefully you guys can send in some more ones at the Gmail. Again, gamesarepool@gmail.com, and just put in your replay. You can put in the description what your battle tag is. Give me a little description in the body, and it will be a pleasure to be able to cast for the StarCraft PH community. Again, guys, so I've been Daks, and see you guys in the next one. Let's go into another one real soon.